So let's focus on this state issue by this ban. So it's important for everyone to know that the status of uranium mining in WA has sort of traded back and forth between Labor and Liberal for the last 20 years. So Labor governments ban it, Liberals unban it. Ban, unban. Everyone you talk to says this policy will change, just what time does it change? And there is a view that given the whole massive nuclear renaissance going on around the world now, and this desperate need for uranium from geopolitically aligned jurisdictions, there's a view that this time, when it changes back again, unlikely for Labor to be able to then go and ban it again, because there is just this undeniable momentum to needing, first world uranium, right? So how do you do that? Well, the Libs have come out and said they are running on a pro-uranium platform. Super. So tick that box. If state Libs manage to pull off a remarkable turnaround and win the state election, great for our industry, frankly. Look, the second option is it is not out of the ballpark that the Labor government is forced to act actually even before an election. Now, why do I say that? Because after growing and being just absolutely on a tear with respect to mining employment and mining investment over the last 20 years, there's a few tailwinds in the mining sector in WA, headwinds, in the mining sector in WA being nickel is problematic. And we're seeing hundreds of job losses a week at the moment, but that could go into thousands and thousands a week. Lithium is trading sideways, and I think Albemarle even yesterday announced another couple hundred job losses down at Kemerton. And iron ore, which has been the absolute backbone of this economy, there's now a new mine called Simandou, which is under construction in Guinea. Simandou's nickname is the Pilbara Killer because it is very big and extremely high grade. It won't push Pilbara iron ore out of the market because Pilbara iron ore is sort of the bottom of the cost curve. But what it will do is displace a whole lot of higher cost production in global iron ore. And what that's going to do is decrease the marginal cost and decrease the price of iron ore quite substantially. And so, that won't necessarily hit majors' jobs as much. It will a little bit, but it's going to crash the iron ore price. And suddenly, the state's royalties are not looking so healthy. So there is a scenario where, hey, assuming BHP closes Nickel West, that lithium trades sideways and iron ore might hit $70 a tonne later this year and all the associated issues with it, is that enough to spur a Labor government which doesn't really want to have a fight with its left, but they might have to ensure that there's a new industry with lots of jobs that can help fill the gap? So that's possible. And the next question is, well, if Labor does win that at next election, all those factors I've just talked about there get more pronounced next year. I would say that there's a process that the Premier is currently going through now to change the gas export ban. So in 2017, when the uranium ban was brought in, there was an offshore gas export ban from onshore gas projects for WA. He's changing that now. It's through a parliamentary inquiry process. So do an inquiry, hear lots of stuff, change the law. That same process can be run for uranium. And what's interesting is with that gas ban, the rationale that the Premier himself is using to say, yeah, we need to sell more gas, is he admits that there is a moral obligation on WA to help our trading partners decarbonise. So if we sell them gas, they'll burn less coal. And that's good for the environment, right? So when you're talking about coal to gas substitution, you might save about 50% of emissions, right? Not bad. But that same argument applies to uranium, coal to uranium. And that substitution, you're saving like 99.99% of emissions. It's way, 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 way better. And so I found it very interesting that the Premier chose to use that rationale in, frankly, having a fight with his left to change the gas ban because the left didn't want it, but he is. And that leaves that same argument open for uranium. Obviously, a big thing later. So one of those in time.